Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Stay Focused on High Priority Activities, with our host, Darryl Davis. To get the most from today's webinar, we want you to take really good notes, and we want you to use that Q&A panel there to ask any questions you might have. We're going to get to as many as we can. To reach us at any time after today's workshop, you can reach us at Darryl Speaks on all social media networks. Darryl is the author of 3 books, all published by McGraw-Hill Publishers. That first one you see there, How to Become a Power Agent in Real Estate, is actually the #1 selling book to real estate agents on Amazon. Darryl is also the recipient of the coveted CSP designation given to less than 2% of speakers worldwide by the National Speakers Association. And on that note, drum roll, please, Darryl, take it away.
All right, thank you.
Feeling very animated, huh?
Yeah, you got to go with that decaf tea. Do they make decaf tea? So good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm really glad that you're here. I'm excited to do this because this is actually there's some new stuff I'm going to be sharing with you, new concepts and distinctions. So I'm excited to do that. You'll be the first to hear it. And first I want to go over a couple other things. Is this webinar a sales pitch? Because if you've never been with me before, I know that's a question because it seems like a lot of these free, what is that expression? There's nothing free in life. And some of these free webinars don't always deliver. I do want to be transparent with you though. It's not a sales pitch, but this weekly webinar that we do every Wednesday is for our power agents. So some of you on this call are guests, and we're so glad that you are. But from time to time, the reason why I'm saying that is because from time to time, I may have like a sidebar conversation with our members and point something out to them, like on the website or something. And then I'll come back to the value that everybody's going to get. If you aren't a power agent, just make a mental note of that website, because at the end, we'll answer questions about it. Or if you want to check it out, because we are running a special right now to help people, especially during this pandemic. But just to give a 30-second overview, just so you don't have that question hanging in your head, what is a power agent? This is our monthly membership that's valued at almost $200 a month. But because of the pandemic, we've locked it in at this low rate for people. So anybody that signs up before we raise the price, they get their grandfathered in. But what we're doing right now is we're running this $5 trial for the next 30 days, and you have complete access to the entire website. There's incredible bonuses. I do want you to see that because the bonuses are worth almost $2,000. They really are super. So if you don't have that, we do want you to get it. And you can cancel any time. Okay, so that's it on an overview of the program. I do want to talk to the power agents for a second as a special announcement to them. Power agents, I just want to remind you, and this is an old screenshot, but I know we have some new power agents, so I want to just remind them that you're getting wet emails every week. Actually get several, but here's an example of the content that's in those emails that we're sending you. Like there's an article on abundance, 5 agent essentials for a better morning. These emails, this is just one email. There's some infographics that we give you in these emails. There's a summary of our coaching call that we do every Monday. There is a reminder about the Tuesday onboarding for power agents for the website. There is a reminder of upcoming webinars for you. So everything I'm showing you is, and then there's the directory. Everything I just showed you is just from the same one email. And we send you 4 emails a week loaded with training content. So new power agents, I just want to remind you, make sure you're getting these emails. If you're not, because it's going in your junk folder or something, check that or shout out to us. Let's check your email. The second thing I want to say, and then we'll get into today's content, is I'm starting all my webinars off with the same thing because I want to bring awareness to this. You know, in 2020, it's we've heard a lot about the pandemic and vaccines, and it's been a crazy reality that we've been living in. Sometimes it feels like a science fiction movie. But one of the things that hasn't been talked enough about, and I just want to bring it up front for you guys, is the food insecurity that this pandemic has created. This is the food insecurity in America since the pandemic, and you will see that it is tripled in numbers. And if you look at even income levels, it's at least doubled at every single income level, even people that would be considered like financially strong. So we're bringing attention to this. The food pantries are having problems. They're going anyway. So what we're doing, we made a commitment in our company, and that is we have a goal to pay for and sponsor 100,000 meals with Feeding America. So this is something that we're very passionate about. We are taking 100%. By the way, any of you guests that are want to try the trial for $5, 100% of that's going to go towards these meals. And in just the first 30 days that we've launched this commitment, we've generated paid for 12,400 meals. So our goal is to hit that 100,000. And anyways, just a special announcement. All right. Now, this webinar, let's get into the content here. Some webinars that I do, we go wide. Some we go deep, like we'll take one specific topic, the listing appointment or prospecting with FSBOs, and we just talk about that one topic. Because this is about how to stay focused, we're going to be covering a lot of different ideas. So we're going to go kind of wide on this one, not too wide. I'm going to help you, because part of being focused, right, is zeroing in on things. So I know for some of you, you feel like, oh my gosh, there's this I can do and that I can do, and I can do this social media and I can do this posting and I can do this CRM, and it can seem very overwhelming and distracting. As a matter of fact, let me say something right now. I'm going to teach right now because it just popped into my head. Is when it comes to being effective, less is more. I'm going to say that again. Being effective, less is more. See, watch this. The sun can cover half of the planet at any given time. The sun is super powerful, right? But as powerful as the sun is, it can't cut through steel like a laser beam can. So when you're laser focused on a few things, you will actually produce more. So I'm going to give you some suggestions on that, okay? So the title of this is, how do you stay focused on high priority activities? Well, we've got to address and answer what is a high priority activity. My definition of a high priority activity, I hope you like it, it's very simple. It's an 8-task item that generates a conversation with a buyer or a seller. I'm going to say it again. It's an 8-task item that generates a conversation with a buyer or seller. Listen, real estate is not complicated, ladies and gentlemen. There's basically, you're either working with buyers or you're working with sellers. That's all there is to it. So all the other stuff, listen to me, is noise. Okay? Buyers, sellers. Sellers, buyers. So here's what your job is. If I were going to give you a job description, like if you had just two things to do as a real estate agent, here it is. You ready? Number one is talk to somebody about buying real estate. That's number one. Can you guess what number two is? Talk to somebody about selling real estate. That's it. If you're not doing one of those two things, you're not doing an A activity, an A task. Every day, here, listen to me, you should have a goal that every day you're going to have at least one conversation with a potential buyer and one conversation with a potential seller. If you did that every day, that's 2 conversations, high priority conversation. You did that every day for 30 days. That's 60. Let me ask you something. If you had 60 conversations with either buyers or sellers, 30 and 30, do you think that might have an impact in your business in the next 30 days? Come on now. Can I get an amen? Of course it's going to. Less is more. Let's keep it simple. So that's an A activity, an A task item is it generates conversation with buyer or seller. Let me give you some examples. A task items would be like following up on an open house, calling a FSBO, calling an expired, smile stops. I'll explain what that is later. It's where you're talking to your past clients. Those are 8. Man, that's good stuff. That's going to generate some money. That's going to generate some business. Plus, you're helping people. A B task item, that's it. B task, it's organizing your listing conversation, changing your website, learning new software, getting organized. In other words, B tasks are getting you ready to do A tasks, but they ain't an A task. Some of us spend too much time on beat items. We overanalyze, we research, watch this, we spend too much time getting ready to work. So I want you to focus, zero in on this. All right, let's continue this. I want to share with you, in getting ready for this webinar, I was thinking about what is the process in turning somebody into a client from a lead to, it's really three things. It's like if you had marketing or a strategy or a plan or a process, here's the process. Some people call it funnels, but I like to make it easy. There's generating the leads. There is nurturing the leads. See, once you get a list, so you got a lead, then you got to nurture the lead. Then that lead that you've been nurturing turns into a client. So for example, lead generation would be that initial contact with people. Stuff like FSBOs, expireds, open houses, referrals, inquiring from online ads, friends and family. So these are generating leads. These are activities or opportunities that'll generate leads. Once they become a lead, it's because they're interested in committing to either buying or selling. So for example, you have a listing appointment, you get a listing appointment. Now you're nurturing that person. You go on the appointment, you don't get the listing, you follow up with it. Buyers, when you're showing buyers houses, they're now in the lead nurture column. They're not an initial generated lead. You're nurturing them now. You're working them. A client is very simple. You either close the transaction, you're in contract with them. So this is where we want to get, right? We want to go from lead gen to nurturing to producing clients. So let me give you several ideas. I'm going to attack this on a different ways to help you stay focused on high priority activities. One of the things, power agents, I'll talk to the power agents on the call here. The power agents, there is a tremendous amount of forms and posters and checklists and diagram and to help you stay focused, which by the way, I'm a fan of. You see this over here, this, for example, this is not for you. This is not window dressing. I wrote this for me. I wrote this for me to remind me breakdowns equal breakthroughs. This is what I'm committed to, helping people smile. My point here is, if I can't turn the camera right, like my office, every wall has something that speaks to me, that motivates me, that keeps me focused. I love hanging stuff up. I love motivational posts. It keeps me focused. Here's one of our power agents, Erica Bassett. She posted that we have a closed Facebook group for just our power agents. This is Erica's wall. All that stuff hanging up is a power something. It's a power agent poster or form. I'll show you some of them right now. This is what I'm talking about. This is good. This is the kind of stuff that helps you stay focused on high priority activities. For example, I want to explain this. Now, if you're a guest, you can create this yourself or do the $5 try. You get a copy of this. You're going to get a copy of everything, all these slides today, but we'll talk about that later. You see where it says call past 5. I'm going to show you something, by the way. A lot of our stuff, gang, I'm going to get out of my screen. I'm in PowerPoint right now. Do you see this? I just want to show you something here. Look at that. See, a lot of our stuff, you can customize it yourself. So if you don't like the list that I created for you, then you can edit that and put your own stuff in. But let's go back to this. So here's the idea. To high priority activities, remember what I said? It's where you're talking to a buyer or talking to a seller. The activities over the left is to help you create those opportunities to either talk to a buyer or talk to a seller. Call 5 past clients, send 50 physical, call 5 physical. So these are just ideas. Now the game is, this is what you should be doing. You should do at least 2 or 3 of these items every single day. My goodness gracious. Do you see the list over here? If you did 2 or 3 of these things every day, do you think you would have a breakthrough in your business and generating listings and generating sales? Come on now. Less is more. Focus. Here's something else. Julie, shout out to Julie. Julie's my right hand, left hand, backhand sometimes. Julie created this bingo game thing. We like to gamify stuff. You know how to play bingo, B-I-N-G-O. And it's a little thing. It's a funny little thing there where you can give it gives you some ideas. Do at least one in the B, one in the I. Here's another thing. The listing inventory chart. If you're a power agent, you've been a power agent for a long time, you know how to talk about, don't get listings. Build inventory. Build inventory. Here's a great game to play with yourself in 2021. Now, I know listing inventory is hard to keep because things are selling so quick. But there's solutions to that too. But anyway, let's just stick with the concept. If let's say you got 0 listings, just get 1 listing in the next 30 days. Get 1 listing in the next 30 days. Now, in month 2, get another one. Now, how many listings do you have in your inventory? You got 2. Month 3, get it to 3. Now, during these months, if something sells off, you replenish it. So the point is, you don't want to get listings. You want to build and maintain inventory. If this is what your listing inventory chart looks like in 2021, your income is going to be directly related to whatever the hell this chart's doing. This chart is almost like a crystal ball that's looking into your future as to what your cash flow is going to be like based on what this chart does. It's a crystal ball. Why? Because you get the listing, then it markets a little bit, then you go into contract, and then it closes a month or 2. Then you have cash flow increase. This is a great way to manage your cash flow, looking at what the future is going to be like. Another one of our favorite boards to help agents stay focused on high priority activities is this. It's the next level and dot board. It's a combination. You know what a vision board is. You've seen it. Listen, if you're real estate, you've heard of it. I don't have to teach you what a vision board is. But the dot board, let me tell you, the dot board, people love the dot board. See, here's what happens. So you go into, let's say this is your dot, this is February 3rd. This is your dot board. Now, if this is your dot board and it's February, that doesn't look very good, right? Because you got no dots. So let's make believe it's January. Let's do it that way, because that's how the screen's going to work. So let's say January, you go on a listing appointment, you have a conversation with somebody, they sign a listing agreement with you, bing, you got a listing, you put a dot, a little colored dot on the board. Exciting, you got a dot. Then you do it again, you got another dot. This is awesome. So here's what the dot board does. Let me just go through this really quick here. The dot board, now you see if this is February and this is what your dot board is, what does that tell you? You're in February, this is what your dot board looks like. It tells you, just looking at it, you did really great at the beginning of the year. You've got some listings. You put things into contract. And by the way, I need to clarify where it says listing sold and sales. The sales, that column is the buyer side of the transaction. The middle one, listing sold, is the listing sold side. So if you take a buyer out and you sell some other agent's listing, you get 1 dot in that last column, buyer side. But let's say you sold your own listing, you get 2 dots. One for the sales side, which is the buyer, and then the listing side. Anyway, what's great about the dot board is it gamifies and inspires agents. People tell us the dot board really motivates them to do the activities to increase their business. It's called gamification. Here's something else too, because I really want you, if there's something that you walk away with, somebody, I just saw, I'm going to answer this question. We're going to answer questions at the end. Somebody said about New York State, we're not allowed to call physicals and expireds due to COVID state of emergency. That's not true. We'll talk about it later. I know that's what NISAR says, and it's inaccurate. But anyway, let's continue. Thank you. I just saw that pop up on the screen. I wanted to address it real quick. But we'll talk about it more. So here's what I'm going to say to you about what I want you to walk away with, no matter what happens. During this webinar and all the stuff I'm going to teach you is I want you to focus on simplifying your business. And maybe just think, for some of you, just focusing on 2 conversations a day, with one with a buyer, one with a seller, that would be good. So one of the things we created to help you is this very simple form that you just say how many calls, how many conversations, how many appointments, notes. Something very simple like this, that might be good for you to help you stay laser focused. Now, power agents, let me talk to you guys for a second. In the dashboard, when you log into the Power Program website and you go to Classroom, which that's where the magic is, there's all of the sections that we broke real estate up into: objection handling, playing with buyers, prospecting, farming, blah, blah, blah. And there's a time and money management tab. All of those posters, the dot board, the listing inventory chart, the breakthrough form, all of that is in the time and money management. So usually that's where we put the charts. Okay, let's talk about high priority activities for buyers. I'm going to give you some high priority activities for buyers and high priority activities for sellers. The first thing, open house. Open houses in this hot market, crazy market, is actually generating a lot of buyer leads for agents. So this is one of our power agents, Joanne Mills. I love this photo. I've shared it a few times. This is an open house that she did in Long Island. Anytime you do an open house in a really hot market, it seems like that's kind of what it's like. And what's really great, not only you generate a tremendous amount of buyers from an open house, but when any of those neighbors, they see that, they see their neighbor's house have a line out the door like that. Do you think that's going to maybe plant a seed for a neighbor saying, geez, maybe we should sell our house? Look at how crazy this market is. So I am a big fan in this crazy, ridiculous market more than ever to do public open houses to generate your buyer leads. So there's open houses. There's following up on an open house. That is an opportunity for you. Every phone call that you make to a buyer that attended your open house, you're hitting that goal that I'm encouraging you to think of, which is have at least every day one conversation with a buyer, one conversation with a seller. And by the way, let me just say this. If you were at the supermarket and you're on the line and somehow you stir up a conversation with the person behind you or the person in front of you and you find that they live in the neighborhood. How long have you lived in the neighborhood? What do you like best about the neighborhood? Why I'm a real estate professional, so I'm really just curious, because the market is so great. Have you guys ever thought about moving? Where's the second place that you would prefer to live as opposed to this town? I know you love this town, but what would be your second choice? Like I would start conversation with everybody I meet. Because everybody that we meet is a potential lead because they're probably living in a home. And this is our business. Anyway, so following up with buyers from your open house. Now, power agents, there is in the classroom, there's a tab called prospecting, and there is over 24 dialogues. This is one of them. Hi, may I speak with Mr. Jones? Hi, this is Darryl Davis, Power Realty. How are you? The reason I'm calling is to thank you for stopping by the open house. You stopped by the other day. Now I want to zoom in on this section here. This house, if you remember, was a 4-bedroom, 2 baths at $495 or $500. If that's the style and price range you're looking in, there's some new listings that came to the market that are really awesome. Is this a style that you guys were looking at? And then from this point, you're just going to start to have a dialogue with these buyers. Now, I know some of them may not answer the phone. It may go to voicemail. I'm going to show you some ideas, even some texting. But at some point, when you feel like you've had some dialogue with these people, if you aren't talking to them on the phone, then you would go to that last part about scheduling an appointment. We call it invite action as opposed to closing. We don't like to close people. We invite people to take action based on what they're committed to. And if somebody's committed to buying a house, we invite them to take action that's consistent with that, which would be to meet with you so you can help serve them. So here in my office, we have something called the 6-step buying process that is designed to help people find the right house with the least amount of aggravation. So I like to do, if it's okay with you, I like to find the time when you can come in so we can share this valuable process with you. We can even look at some amazing new listings before they get sold in this crazy market. Now, some of you are choosing not to do face-to-face meetings because the pandemic, which is great. Make sure you're wearing masks always. So you can just convert anything that we say about face-to-face meetings into that virtual meeting, like with Zoom, for example. Okay. So some texting script things for a buyer. If let's say you can't get a hold of them, one of the things you can text them is, hey, thanks for attending the open house at Hana. We had a strong turnout, so please reach out if you have any questions about the property ASAP. See, what I love about that text that we wrote for our power agents is that kind of stirs in like, oh, gosh, there's a lot of activity. See, buyers want what other buyers want. So if they feel like there's a lot of activity and the house could sell before they even make a decision. So anything that you can do to tease people, to motivate them is a good thing. Hi, this is Darryl. Are you folks still looking for a house in whatever town? Some new properties that came on the market you may be interested in. Hi, this is so-and-so. I'm setting up showings for the week. Would you like to get together to see some houses or see some more houses? So these are these are just some ideas, templates for you to mess with. I will tell you something that I recommend that you look into. This software, this app for your phone called Rocket Biz. What this thing does, I'm going to zoom in on it, is that this app which you can get on the App Store, Rocket Biz. Do you see at the bottom there? What you can do is you can take written text scripts, if you will, and it goes in your menu. So instead of every buyer, like if you had 30 buyers at an open house, instead of you having to do that 30 times, texting it, it's a menu of things that you saved, scripts that you've saved, and you just click on it, bada bing, it sends it out to that individual. I love this app. So there's a suggestion. All right, so high priority for buyers. Julie, how are we doing?
We're rocking and rolling.
Okay, so we got open houses. We got follow-up to open houses. Here's another one. Power Agent secret formula to selling homes. Here's the Power Agent secret formula to selling homes. I'm going to ask you guys a question. I can't hear your answers, so I'll add a little bit for you. If I were to ask you which is better, to take one buyer and you show that one buyer a bunch of houses, or is it better to take one house and you show it to 10 buyers? Now, what you all would probably tell me, if I could hear you, you would say the second option is better. It's better to take one house and show it 10 times. The interesting thing is that's for a lot of us, that's not how we do it, though. What we do is we take a buyer out, we show them house after house. In other words, we work the buyer. So I know this is a hot market, but I want you to go with this concept of shiny penny. So before the market was as crazy it was now, the concept of shiny penny, actually, I wish I had some pennies to show you. If, let's say, you had 100 pennies in your hand and there was one that was shiny, the rest were dirty, could you easily find that one house, that one penny, sorry? Yes, like out of 100 pennies, they all look the same except this one, because it's shiny, it pops out. In real estate, the concept is the same. The concept is similar in the respect that buyers tell you they want this kind of house and they want to buy a different type, right? We've seen it a million times. Buyers never buy what they say they're going to buy. What buyers do is they buy the best house in the price range of what they can afford, the shiny penny. Now, the challenge in most of our markets is that everything's a shiny penny, right? Because things are moving so quick. So what I want you to start to think, though, is that when a new listing hits the market in that price range, I want you to call every one of your buyers and try and show that one house, okay? So instead of you listening to the buyers and trying to find the buyers what it is that they told you, the better procedure is to find, when a new listing comes on the market, call every buyer you have in that price range, regardless of style, and try and sell them that house or sell that house. It's no different than what we do in like a shoe store. Like if I go to a shoe store to buy shoes and I tell them this is what I want, they don't say, all right, get in my car, let me drive you from shoe store to shoe store, try to sell you a pair of shoes. No, what they do is they have their inventory. They try and sell me their inventory. Let's say for some reason we twist it. We do it upside down. But here is the motto that power agents live by. Less stress, income higher, work the house, not the buyer. Even though if we're practicing buyer agency, the product that we sell is real estate. It's houses. And in every industry, when they're selling the product, they promote the product and they have buyers come to the product. Do you hear what I'm saying? They have buyers come to the product. Buyers come to the product. New listing comes on the market. That's your product. Now go bring your buyers to that one house. And I guarantee you, man, if you, instead of you trying to, like, how do you know what you do, right? You have a buyer, they like a house and put an offer in. Now you've got your offer and there's 20 other offers. What if there was a house for sale and those 20 offers, like you had 5 of them because you showed it to a bunch of buyers and you wrote a bunch of offers? Do you think your odds increase that maybe you're going to sell that house? Absolutely. So this is how I want you to start to think. Less stress, income higher, work the house, not the buyer. Now, so that's the power agent formula. Always be a yes, even when people think they are a no. When you are shaking the trees, looking for business, because you want to have at least a conversation today with a buyer and a conversation with the seller, you may have to shake the trees. Like I did the thing on the supermarket. You're on the line and you strike up a conversation with someone. You know, somebody might say, oh, yeah, we thought about moving, but, you know, it's that's a no, right? I want you to fan the fire and see if you can make it a yes. Because the reason people sometimes when it comes to buying or selling real estate, like a buyer, for example, they may think, you know what, I can't afford it. My credit score is not good. The market's too crazy. They don't know that there's the type of financing there might be out there for first-time buyers or for VAs, or if they have what the minimum credit score is, maybe better than what they think it is. In other words, you may be able to take somebody who's not a lead and help them discover that, hey, maybe we can do this. So you be the yes in the face of people's no. Okay. You've got to ask those questions to find out, to help them. Okay. Anytime you can, try and work in the real estate conversation. You know, anybody you talk to is a potential lead. So if you can somehow work in there, you know what? I am really committed to helping people benefit from the current real estate market. Let me ask you, do you know of anyone who's thinking about buying or selling real estate? Because it's just such a great time for either buyers or for sellers. Like somehow that's your little verbal business card to generate a conversation about real estate. Listen, how many people are there in the world, right? Well, let's just focus on the United States. There's over 300, what is the number? 300 million? What do we have? 300 billion? 300 million people? It's a lot. I know it's 340 something. For some reason, I'm having a brain fart. Is it a million, or it can't be a billion, right? 340 million people. Anyway, you get the point.
Million.
There's a million. Thank you. Of the 340 million, now some of them are kids and the babies, and some are renters. Some might be homeless. But my point is that most people have some real estate need. You listen to me. Here's the point I'm trying to make. You're in the best business because everybody is either in real estate or they want to get into real estate, and you can help them. And you've been licensed by your state to help. Your job is to go find these people and help them. Nobody watching this should be struggling financially. All right, let's talk about high priority activities for sellers. What are some things you can do for sellers? Zero in on this. Send out mailers for your buyers and call neighbors for your buyers. So here's what I was talking to a power agent recently, because we do our coaching calls. Every Monday I do coaching calls with our students. And so one of the questions that came up, because they're live. See, the thing about these webinars, I can't talk to you right now. You can text and we'll read your question at the end. But on Mondays, it's an audio. Like I can hear your voice. We can talk. You can ask me questions. Anyway, they run an hour and a half, 2 hours now. And so one of the questions was, Darryl, I have these buyers and they're losing out on everything. There's multiple offers. They can't, but they're really committed. So I told him, I said, you know what you should do? If you really have a buyer, what you do, shake the trees, call the neighbors, find a house, because right now there's somebody in that neighborhood who's thinking, but see, everybody who becomes a listing, they were thinking about selling before they became the listing. So right now in your neighborhood, there's a family who's having that conversation about maybe we should move. So the person who's most likely to get that listing is the one that talks to them before anybody else knows about it. So if you have a buyer who really wants to buy and you're struggling and they're losing out on deals, why don't you prospect like a maniac for that one couple, either in mailings or phone calls? For example, here's a letter that you can send out to your neighbors. Dear Hannah, you should customize it, by the way. Mail merge it. Dear Hannah, I believe we may have a buyer for your home. We've been searching really hard for properties for one of our buyers looking in your neighborhood. From what we can find on public record, your property might be perfect for them. Are you open to selling in the near future? Bing, that's a great letter right there. You could actually even use that perhaps as a text. So send out mailings to your buyers, call the neighbors, walk your neighborhood. You know, here's how you just do some door knocking. Let me just zoom in on this dialogue here. Power Agents, the dialogue is in the prospecting tab of the website. If there's anything I could ever do for you or your family regarding real estate, my number's at the bottom. You know, you give them something of value. Oh, by the way, I'm also offering folks in the area a neighborhood market report. It's a report that offers two things. First, it shows how much your neighbors paid for their home. And second, based on that information, gives you a value range for your property's worth. We believe that every homeowner should have this done at least once a year, just like your stock portfolio. You periodically, you should check out your house is your most important asset. You should kind of get a sense of how it's doing. So this is why we offer this once a year to people. And you can actually even give them a certificate. So you can do some door knocking for people in your area. And you can do that dialogue. You can say, listen, I'm knocking on your door because we have buyers that specifically want to buy in this neighborhood. Have you heard of anybody who's thinking about selling? So walk your neighborhood, do some door knocking, give something of value. FSBOs and expireds. New Yorkers, you can call FSBOs and expireds. I'm not going to talk about this. Next week, listen, next week, let me go back. Next week, I'm doing a webinar on this. I want you guys to be on that. We'll address it there. By the way, I'm a specialist when it comes to FSBOs and expireds. Power agents, I told you in the prospecting, there is all this dialogue for you. The door knocking dialogue, the FSBO dialogue, new listing in the area dialogue for rent by owners, voicemail dialogue, vacant property. There's a ton. And next week, is that next week, Julie, February? Yes, next week I'm doing this webinar on how to become a listing machine working FSBOs and expireds. I'm going to teach two things on this. The dialogue for calling FSBOs and expireds, which again, New York, you can. I will address that next week. And the second is how to do the listing appointment for a FSBO or expired. So that's what we're going to do. Very excited about that. Now, here's some texting scripts for you, too, when it comes to sellers or potential sellers, lead gen. I just left your voicemail about your house for sale. Please call me at your earliest convenience. Bing. Here's another one. I'm sorry to text you, but a new listing came up for sale in your neighborhood. We expect this will generate a lot of buyer interest in our neighborhood. Please call if you know of anybody's thinking about selling. Darryl, how do you get people's mobile numbers? There is a way to do that through Cole's directory or RedX. We have a relationship with RedX called GeoLeads. So there's a way to get people's mobile numbers in your farm area. And this is why, listen, people don't like sales calls. And that's why I start off the email with, I'm sorry, the text with, I'm sorry, because, it's important. I just got to let you know. So I'm sorry, though. Do you know of anybody? I'm sorry to text you, but I have a few buyers looking in your areas. Is your home still available? So that's good for an expired. I have a few thoughts on how to get your home sold fast. Do you have a time for us to meet to discuss? So that would be like, let's say to a FSBO. So these are some texting scripts that we created for you guys for power agents. Now, let me show you a few other things. See, just FSBOs and expireds. This slide, what I want to tell you, gang, again, this is for getting listings. So we talked about buyers, talking about sellers, having those conversations. One of these students here, Jonathan Myers, I want you to see this. Expireds, FSBOs, canceled, rental 9 months from leases, and social media. I have done that, and in my first year, I'm on track to doing over 30 transactions. So what I screenshot that was part of a whole conversation. So I want to, but the point here is this guy, Jonathan from Just Work. Are we okay, Julie?
Yes.
Okay. Jonathan, just from expireds, FSBOs, cancel listings, and rentals, and some social media, he is going to do over 30 transactions in his first year. So the point that I'm trying to tell you, gang, I've said it before, I say it again, less is more. If you just pick like the spokes in a wheel, like a tire, like if you have just a few spokes, a few things you're doing every day, oh man, you'll have, this will be your breakthrough year in 2021, whether it's houses for rent, past clients, orphans, farming. Okay. So last thing I do want to talk about on this is past clients. I'm going to go through this pretty quick. Power agents, we have this thing called Smile Stops. Smile Stops are really geared towards past clients because these are items that you'll spend high-end money on, okay? Or these are really good positive leads. So it doesn't have to be just past clients, but it looks like they're just on the edge of you turning them into a client. Let me, so I'm going to go over this with you. This is giving you just an idea for each month. But first, let me explain why we call it Smile Stops. It's an acronym, the word SMILE, which stands for service, is the S. You're focusing on serving, not selling. Like you want to just give something of value. It's better to do it in person. You meet them face to face. I is invite them to share and to talk. And you do that by asking questions. So you're causing the dialogue, the conversation. You leave a token of gratitude, some kind of gift, and then you elevate the relationship by following up. So it's not just door knocking, there are smile stops. Let me give you some ideas. Now, you wouldn't do all of these because we're giving you 12 ideas, one for every month. But for past clients, I say once a quarter is a good idea. But here's what we came up with for you to choose from, like the fortune cookie with a little note saying, wishing you good fortune for the new year. February, box of chocolate. I love my clients. Happy Valentine's Day. The March was gold coins, chocolate coins. I'm lucky to have you as my client and your referrals. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Good job on that, Jules. April, a package of Peeps. You know, those little fake well, they're real marshmallow, but they taste so chemical. I hate these things. They're so disgusting. But some people love them. Have your Peeps, have any Peeps with real estate needs, call me. I can help. Yeah, May, we got a package of flower seeds. Thanks for helping me bloom in my business. A box of Swedish fish with, this is a little corny. It's officially summer. I'm hooked on happy clients and referrals. Call me if you need anything. July box of sparkles with a note. Wishing you a sparkling Independence Day. I'm here for your needs. August is National S'mores Day. I didn't know that, but Julie seems to know these things. Deliver s'more fixing graham crackers and say something like, if you ever need some more info on real estate, let me know. And finishing up the year, September's ruler with hope the new school year rules in your home. I'm here to teach you whatever you need to know about real estate. October, pumpkin carving kit. Let's carve out some time to talk real estate. November, pumpkin, any way you slice it. I appreciate you. And my favorite, December, is the wrapping paper. Thanks for helping me wrap up a great year. So these are just some ideas on your past clients. Like I said, I'm going to go, let me just go back to that. What we did with this, Power Agents, is we just gave you ideas for each month. You should only do maybe 3 or 4 a year. But then what we also did is this screenshot. We created small stops specific to the season. So we even went crazy with a whole bunch of other ideas. All right. So, all right, let's continue on. Avoid distractions this year to help you stay focused on high priority activities. Here's not my definition of distraction. This is the Webster's Dictionary definition of distraction. It's a thing that prevents somebody from giving full attention to something else. That's like a mic drop. I love that. It's very simple. We need to lessen our distractions so we can stay more focused. I love this one, even better. A distraction is extreme agitation of the mind or emotions. Whoa. This is some of us, we have distractions in our life. Some we know people that are married to a distraction. All right, just having a little fun. Julie, was that funny? I don't hear you laugh. All right.
Yeah.
you got to help me over here, Jules. You're my sidekick. All right. So let me give you just a couple of suggestions on how to avoid distractions. Is possibly unfollow people in social media if you need to. Like, listen, I got to tell you something. So, my better half, April, the love of my life, like it just happened recently. She was telling me, about some people that were annoying her on social media. And I said, it's funny, hon. No, I don't get annoyed. When I go on Facebook, I don't get annoyed. As a matter of fact, my Facebook feed is loaded with nothing but positive stuff. And I realize why that is. It's because I swear, I started to unfollow people who were being negative. So now I swear, it's so amazing. It's like an experiment. My Facebook feed is one after the other positive post. Shower me positive. I love it. I look forward to it. I love this quote that Julie shared me just before the webinar. When a photographer can't change a scene, he or she changes his angles and lens to capture the best part of the scene. Similarly, when you can't change a situation in your life, change your perspective to get the best part out of that situation. Be a filter, not a sponge. Man, I love that. This is us. Some of us, we can't control what other people do. We can't control reality, but we can certainly control what we focus on, what we see, what angle we are perceiving our life. So, if you have to unfollow some folks that are being negative, Get strong with tech because that could be a distraction. Tech can be a distraction. When you don't know how to use tech, come on now, you know who I'm talking to. Not everybody needs to hear this. Some of you know who you are. It's like you still have a VCR in your house. Come on, what? And it's still flashing 12. You know how to make it stop. You got to get a little tech savvy because you knowing that you don't know that stresses you out. It's a distraction. So get tight on it. Power Agents, I want to talk to you for a second. In the classroom of the Power Program website, there is a section called Tech Tools and Training. There is great stuff in there. Where we focus deep on stuff like Canva, how to use PowerPoint. Let me go through some of them. Here's tech considerations. Make sure you're familiar and you're comfortable with your website, that you understand how perhaps use Canva. It's a great tool for agents for creating things on the slide. Like what I just showed you, that quote, Julie did that in 5 minutes on Canva, the quote about the photographer. Because she read it to me this morning before we opened up the webinar. And I said, oh, I love that. Let's do it. So 5 minutes, she created that. Zoom, you should know how to use Zoom. You should know how to log into and not turn your camera on if you don't want your camera on, or how to turn it on. Social media profiles, make sure it's tight. You know, like for example, my social media handle, Darryl Speaks. You want to find me on Instagram? Darryl Speaks. Facebook, facebook.com/Darryl Speaks. The website, darrylspeaks.com. What else is it? YouTube.com/Darryl Speaks. Darryl Speaks, one thing. So we're tight on our social media. PowerPoint, understanding how PowerPoint works. Your CRM, RedX, fan of RedX when it comes to shaking the trees and generating business. Your CRM, Power Agents, you have the Power Builder. And I just want to talk to the Power Agents for a minute. The Power Builder, there's a set and forget of social media where you link your social media accounts, and then it will every day post articles related to real estate for you. You don't touch it. It's done for you. Make sure you're using the social stream aspect of the CRM. Those of you that are not Power Agents, make sure you're familiar with your CRM and what it has to offer, because that will help you be more focused and more effective. RedX, I'm a huge fan when it comes to finding FSBOs, expireds, for rent by owners, pre-foreclosures, etc. This is what it looks like. You log into your account. Here's all your leads. You click on one lead. There's the information about the person and their square footage in their house. And then there's a whole way into dialing them. I see, this is keeps you focused. Remember what I said. Play the game with yourself to generate at least every day one conversation with a buyer and one with a potential seller. Hang your signs. What sign am I talking about? If you're going to start process every day, if you're going to shake the trees and have those two conversations, by the way, I think it should be more than two. I'm just trying to help people who are not even doing that, do small. Hang your signs. Here's a sign. Do not disturb. I'm growing my future. If you're going to go into your home office or your other office, wherever it is, and you're going to make calls from your car, stick it up on your window. Hang the sign. Say, don't disturb. I'm growing my future. Don't disturb me. I'm planting seeds of greatness, of success. Shaking the trees, planting seeds. Every conversation is a seed you just planted. By the way, let's go back to that nurturing thing. Remember what I said about nurturing leads? You plant a seed, and so you plant a seed, you're a farmer, and then what do you have to do? You have to water it, you got to fertilize it, and the sun does its thing. You pray on it. So what is that? Nurturing, follow-up. Okay. Don't disturb me. I'm doing what I love to do. And I'm working on having a breakthrough in my business. But last but not least, to help you stay focused on high priority activities, I want to tell you a story about me running the New York City Marathon. Do you see that? I'm right there in the pink shirt with the headband. I'm holding some guy's hand with blue hair. I have no idea who he was. He just grabbed my hand as we crossed the line. True story. Now, any of you have known me. I am not into working out. My idea of a good workout is I fill it in the bathtub, I pull the plug, and I fight the current. I hate working out. I really do. I hated doing this. Let me show you something why I did it, though. This is the New York City Marathon. When I took it, 37,000 people. boy, in this world of COVID, I see this and I start to twitch. I get very uncomfortable just looking at these photos. And this is the New York City Marathon, and I'm right there. Which is funny, when I was looking at these photos, there's only like 3 people smiling. Everybody else is pain. I'm like just happy that I didn't die yet. And that's probably why I was cheering. But here's what I want to tell you about the New York City Marathon. The reason why I ran the New York City Marathon was not to run the New York City Marathon because I'm sorry to say I'm just not into working out. I did this because I found out that leukemia was the #1 blood disease killer of children up to the age of 16. And the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, they've got this thing called Team in Training where they will train you to run a marathon if you help them raise money. So I did this to raise money to help save lives. I was passionate about it. Passionate about it. I'll say it again, passionate about it. See, it wasn't about running. It was about saving children's lives. That's what got me up every morning. And by the way, just a little kudos to my students, because my students were given the money. Every seminar I did, people donated. We were the #1 fundraiser in the state of New York when I ran this. We raised $22,000 in 3 months. Here's what I learned in this process of running that marathon and a few others. So I did this for like 2.5 years of running marathons for leukemia. And here's what I learned. The 6 things that I give to you to help you have 2021 be a breakthrough year and to help you stay focused on high priority activities is you've got to be committed to something bigger than your fears, worries, and concerns. You have to be committed to something bigger than your fears, worries, and concerns. See, I know some of you don't like to prospect, and here's how you deal with prospect is have a game worth playing. Some of us wake up more tired than when we went to bed because we're waking up to an alarm clock versus waking up to a vision, a commitment, something that speaks to our heart. See, right now, what wakes me up in the morning is 100,000 meals for feeding America because there's children who have food insecurity, and I want to help those kids. That's who I am. So when I tell people, become a power agent because at $5, you're going to feed a family. You're going to help save a child because they're going to have food in their stomach. So when you are committed to something that's bigger than yours, you will create miracles in your life. Me finishing a marathon was a miracle. Work your life around the commitment verse, not the commitment around your life. See, when you're training to run a marathon, you don't fit your training into your life because you'll never do the training because you'll always find something else to do. You got to fit your life into the commitment of training to run a marathon because that takes months of training. Same thing in your real estate business. If you try and wait you're going to do prospecting like you're going to get to it after you do this, and that, you know you're never going to get to it. You've got to be committed to that next level, whatever that is for you. You've got to do, what is that next level? What's that thing that speaks to your heart that you wake up, you're going to get passionate about in your business? What is that? What is it? Is it to feed your family? Is it to get out of debt? Is it to buy an investment property? Is it to retire? What's important to you? Now, you've got to be successful in real estate to bring that into reality. Make your commitment public. See, it's easy to see if you don't make it public, if it's in your head, then it's a want, it's a wish, it's a dream, it's a hope. I want to win lottery. When you put it out there and you say, this is what I'm committed, this is what I'm going to do, and you have other people, there's a form of accountability. See, one of our power agents, Mary Crawford, she made her goals public. She took the dot board, it was in her office. One year, she did 32 dots. She said that year of 32 dots was more than if the last 3 years combined. She made it her commitment public. When you make it public, there's certain accountability to it. Number 4 is make mini goals. See, when I was running the marathon, listen, when I ran the marathon, this is how I started. Because I can't get a wide shot of me. Do you see how big I am? I'm a big boy. There's a lot of, it's hard, man. But when I started working out, running, I would do a half a mile and then go home. And then I do a few more half miles. Then I got up to a mile. The marathon's 26.2 miles. I started a little bit at a time, and this is how I did it. When I got in the street, because I looked at 26 miles when I decided to do my first marathon, I said, "Man, I can't do it. That's too long. That's too far." You can't see my point, my finger. It's too far. So what I did is, all right, I ain't going to focus on the 26.2 miles. Let me just focus on getting to the crack in the cement. Then I said, all right, I got to the crack. Let me get to the bush. Then it's right over there. I get to the bush. I said, let me get to the telephone pole. Inch by inch, life's a cinch. Yard by yard, it's hard. So what I'm going to suggest you do is set many, many goals. For example, set maybe a quarterly goal. Maybe you set a weekly goal, even a daily goal. Like instead of thinking about the whole big number that you want, I want to make 100 grand. No, what are you going to do maybe in the next quarter or the next 30 days? Power Agents, we create this form for you to come up with those milestones of things that you want to do, these 2, 3, or 4 things that you want to accomplish in this quarter and the next quarter. Hang this up. Remember what I said? I love hanging stuff up. You know, one of the things, Power Agents, I want to remind you is every week we send you this calendar for the week. Every week you get this email to you, and we put it into the website too. The most important thing is the 3 top things you're going to accomplish this week. The reason why that's important is because I know you're like me probably, where you may feel like you did a lot of work in the whole week and you're like, what the hell did I do? Like, I don't feel like I accomplished it. I know I worked. And the reason why is because you didn't say, you know what, no matter what I do, I got to make sure I do these 3. If I do these 3 things, if I don't do anything else, but I do these 3, I'll feel like I had a sense of accomplishment. I moved the ball down the court. Some of you may want to schedule out every day. We created this schedule for Power Agents as a suggestion. You know, this is all in the time management, Power Agents, in the classroom. You know, in the morning, you meditate, you pray, prospect now business. Then you do a meal, you do some social media. Like this might help you have some structure to stay focused on your high priority activities. You know, set a to-do list for tomorrow. Where's the other? Review your top 3. I forgot it goes from left to right. Review your top 3 must-do tasks. Educate, take some buyer appointments. Anyway, I love this. It's powerful. So mini goals. Number 5 is get support, training, and encouragement from other people. Look at this. This is what the schedule looks like to to train for a marathon in a 4-month time frame. It tells you on this first day you do this, you do 3 miles, you do 4 miles, and it gives you a schedule. This is a great support structure. This calendar. Now mine was not 3 months. I needed 5 months because the first 3. I couldn't even make 3 miles. Like in the first few weeks, I was like lucky if I could just do a mile. So I built up to it. But look at this. Look at the over to the right. Do you see the total miles for the week? 16, 19, 22. Look at it. 41, 42 at the bottom there. So gradually you get that kind of support. And here's something else. I heard about this in the New York City Marathon. But the people who were encouraging and cheering on the side of the road, people calling out my name, I don't know who they were. They had microphones and speakers. They had music. They had bands. It was incredible, the energy and support to help me run. This was my favorite. This group of ladies said, you've got stamina, call me. I thought that was cute. I hear there's free beer at the finish line. Hurry. Anyway, this kind of encouragement, positive people in your life, this is what you need, right? You know, there was a study done by Boston Medical Journal, posted this. This is happiness is contagious. My mother used to tell me, show me your friends and you show me who you are. We're around positive people who are encouraging us, powerful. And you'll see that there's the dark are people who are the least happy, the bright were the happy people. And you'll notice that negative people hang out with negative people, positive people hang out with positive people. This is what that study showed. So hang around positive people. You know, Power Agents, we send you these 4 newsletters, these training newsletters. These are designed to help you stay focused and motivated and positive. We've added the weekly coaching calls on Monday. They keep you positive and focused. So make sure you're calling in on those Monday calls. So get support, training, encouragement. And the last thing is don't run alone. Don't run alone. I'll tell you this quick story over here. This is me doing the half marathon at Disney World. In 2010, I did that run in 3 hours and 34 minutes. Not good time. I told you I'm not a runner. I didn't do it for that. I did it for leukemia. 3 hours and 34 minutes in 2010. 2011, I went through ending my relationship with my son's mom and then I had to get custody of my son. I had to worry about my business. Anyway, my point is I didn't do any training for the 2011 marathon. But in 2011, that marathon, I was less trained, less prepared. I was a year older. I was fatter. And I actually did that marathon in 2 hours and 59 minutes. I cut 35 minutes off my time. And I'll tell you how I did it. It's because, let me skip over this, is because that iPhone, do you see my iPhone in my hand this week? People were texting me saying, Darryl, good job. You're the best. And that was encouragement. I'm going to skip over this. I don't have time. So anyway, that's it, Julie. I just realized the time, so I just cut that really short. Anyway.
Oh, that's my favorite story.
Yes, I know there's more to that story, but we just don't have time. We ran out of time, and I got to stick with this. Gang, listen, those of you that are not power agents, I want to tell you really quick what we're going to do for you. So stay with me on this call for just 5 minutes, and then we're going to open up to questions. The first 30 days is only $5. You get complete access to the website. You get bonuses today, and you get a copy of the slides. You can cancel anytime. What the power program is, and I'll do this in 90 seconds, is every Monday there's coaching calls every week. One of our power agents said, I look forward to the calls every week, your encouragement, and these are live, and I can talk to you. They're at 11 o'clock, plus we do these webinars, plus we record the webinar, so we're on demand. So power agents, this webinar, they can watch it after. We'll post it in the next couple of days. There's a closed Facebook group for power agents, which the networking is absolutely phenomenal. The website has over 500 forms, flyers, checklists that you have access to, and you can customize all the marketing pieces. So for example, when you go to Classroom, and let's say you need help with, farming, you look for that. It's alphabetical. There's the F for farming. And then there is literally hundreds of flyers and forms and checklists that you can customize and use in your marketing for yourself. There's a favorite tab because we have so much there. You can actually tag it and it saves it for you in your own special folder. We use a similar search function that Google. So if you type in, let's say, FSBO, bada bing, all of the things related to FSBO, like forms and flyers and training and dialogue is all there for you. And let's see, one of our students said, Darryl delivers what he promises. I've been a power agent for a week and I'm already a better agent. I love that quote, Denise. Thank you. Now, in addition, there is a bonus that you guys are going to get today that we don't usually offer, and that is the Breakthrough Business Plan, which is 43 pages. You're going to get that instantly once you sign up. So here's the great bonuses that we're giving you guys. There is a PowerPoint presentation that is 103 slides. You're going to get that when you sign up. There is a tutorial on how to do it. I delivered it and recorded it and how to present it. There's an e-guide that you can give to buyers and to sellers about how to deal with multiple offer situation. You can customize that, put your contact information on it. If you're a new agent or an agent who's been licensed, but you're looking to restart your business, we have a guide for you. It's 29 pages on how to restart your business. There are 12 top requested dialogues is put together in a package, along with how to set up a Facebook group. I already told you about the special business plan. That's 43 pages. Plus, you're getting a 12 report on the predictions of real estate for 2021. And you also get some other bonuses like a copy of today's slide, the recording of it, and the CRM. If you need one, you don't have one. So all of this stuff comes out to $18.96, but you guys get it for $5 if you want to kick the tires. And you're going to help contribute to the Feeding America, because 100% of that $5 is going to go to feeding a family. Actually, your $5, see, Feeding America, $1 pays for 10 meals. So your $5 will actually pay for 50 meals. So really what we're doing here is you're giving $5 to feed a family 50 times, and you're getting the power program for free. Power agents, if you're on the call, we love to see your comments. Tell us what you like, so that way we can do more of that. With that said, I'm going to open up to questions, whether you're a power agent or a guest and you have questions about real estate or the program, whatever you need. Let's go.
Perfect. All right. Agnes asks, how do you encourage visitors from an open house to leave your name, phone, and email? What's your formula?
Yeah, the best way to ask for people's contact information at an open house is not to ask them as soon as they walk in, because that's so wrong on so many levels, and that's usually what we do. And there's reasons why we do it, and I get it. But the best thing is build a relationship and trust first. So what you do is you'll be so different if you do what I'm telling you, because they'll expect you to ask them to sign in, because that's what we always, can you please sign in? No, just take them through the house. Make sure they're safe. They have their mask and everything else on, and take them through and talk to them and build relationship with them. And then when you're done touring the house, then you say, hey, listen, I have some other properties that might be interest that are coming to the market. There's always some new stuff. Would you like me to let you know about it before anybody else knows about it? Sure, yeah. Can I get your name and telephone number? Next question.
How do you prioritize when everything seems to be a priority?
Yeah, here's your priority, is talk to one buyer and talk to one seller today, period, end of story. Once you've done that, you can do other stuff. Don't do anything else until you've done that. So go find somebody to talk to today. Pick up the phone, call a friend, call a family member, call a past client, call somebody else, a deal that the agent is not working in your company anymore, but you have the closed contact information. Offer free CMAs. I think I made the point. Next question.
Wonderful. How do you deal with having several of your clients submitting offers on the same home without the ones whose offer did not get accepted, feeling like I didn't serve them well because my other client's offer was accepted and not theirs? And Pearl and Ray actually have kind of the same question. How do you manage submitting got multiple buyers?
Yeah. So here's what you do is there's a couple of things. Number one is, if you're a power agent, you give them that multiple offer e-guide, because it addresses it in there for you. People are funny when they see something in print, it adds more credibility to it. So if you show them, that's, you see on the screen there where it's the top one over to the third one to the right, you give them that guide, and that'll help you tremendously. In addition to that, before you even start showing a buyer any houses, you should really let them know what's happening in the market. You should show them statistically how the days on market, what's the average in your MLS based on the MLS stats. Tell them the average house gets about 10 offers and only one gets accepted. It means 9 people lost out, and it has nothing to do with maybe the price that they offer. Sometimes it's just a draw of the luck in this type of market. So you got to just prepare them better before you get to the point of writing the offer. Next question.
Darryl, the forms and checklists that you showed in the beginning, the dot board, and that, where would power agents find those?
Yeah. So gang, I'm going to go to the power. I'm right now on the Power Program website. So if you go to Classroom, first of all, a lot of what I show in a webinar, you might find in the Darryl's Top Picks. But this particular webinar, because we created some new content, it's going to be in the time and money management. And when you go there, you're going to see the monthly calendar, the weekly calendar. You're going to see ideas for your past clients. There is the quarterly calendar that I showed you. The listing inventory chart is there. Julie, this chart we have to change out with the one I showed today.
Okay.
Changes. Just remind me, I'm going to forget. There's the dot board. There's the vision and dot board. So that's the answer question. Next question.
Thank you. Dion said, I just signed up because I'm so excited. My broker in charge has her own account, and I wanted my own so I could ask questions and participate. Thank you.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Geraldine just joined as well. The cost is $47 from now on, right? Monthly, annual. I just want to be sure. And I wonder how much it is to utilize the CRM.
Yeah. So great question. So first, let's be clear about this. So the Power Program, it's valued at $197, but we are holding it at $47 for anybody. So Geraldine that just signed up, you've now got $47 for life, right? So even when we raise the price, you are locked in on that. But for the beginning, the 30 days, it's only $5. So technically what somebody could do is sign up for $5, help feed families, get everything that's on the screen right now. You get to keep it all, which is an incredible incentive for you. We do this because we really want everybody to try, because we know when you do, you're going to want to stay because you'll see the value. Anyway, as far as the CRM is concerned, because some power agents that start with us, they already have a CRM. It might be with follow-up boss or top producer. So you don't. So that's why we carved it out as a separate item. If you don't have a CRM or you're not happy with the one, yes, that's an additional $49 for that CRM. But that one you get for free for 30 days when you activate it. And the real benefit of our CRM is all those forms or letters that we have. It's actually part of the CRM too. So you don't have to upload it. We put it in there for you. Next question.
Letitia says she's a brand new power agent. This is her first week. She called past clients and got great responses. So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Letitia.
Thank you.
Mary said, if I already have a company CRM, can I still implement the designs and tools that you have and send them out to my email groups?
Absolutely, because let me explain that. So I'm going to go to the website. So let me find a letter. So if I go to farming and self-promotion mailings, and when I log there, I'm going to go to a letter as an example. And this is, let me find something that's small. So absentee owner letter. So what you'll see happen on the screen is it's a Word document. So now, you can't see it because it's over here. Now this is simply a Word document. So you can copy and paste it into your current CRM at your company and or upload it or whatever. So that's that. These other items that are flyers, where are they? All of these things are done in PowerPoint because we find that that's the best software to be able to convert it to whether it's Keynote, whether it's Google Slides, and then you can edit it and you can drop your contact information in it and do it that way. Next question.
Yes. Where do I find phone numbers, my neighbors' phone numbers?
Okay, there's two places that we recommend, and we have a relationship with both of them. Now, that's not why we recommend them. See, we like them. When we see a vendor that we really like, then Julie calls, sets it up for me. Then I go in and I close it and I cut a deal. And I cut a deal for the power agents to benefit from it. So the two that we cut a deal for you guys, whoops, that's the wrong one, is it's Tech Tools and Training, is RedX is one. So that's right there. So the RedX is one place that you can find the leads. The other one is Cold Directory, Cold Realty Resource. That one we negotiated a $200 deal for you guys. And that's another place where you can get your mailing list.
And all that information is in that Tech Tools. There are coupons there for you.
Yep.
Elaine asked, does the $49 for the CRM include the social stream?
Yes.
Perfect.
That's the 49 is the top number. I always tell the top number. If you didn't want the social stream, you can actually get the CRM for $29 a month. So that extra $20, the only difference is the social stream. But I always tell people 49 because I don't want to explain it. Plus, I figured when you hear 29, oh, that's even better. So plus, I like everybody to do the social stream because it's a great, for $20, it's incredible. Next question.
Ellen says, do you have examples of videos for social media? We do have some examples.
So there's a couple of things. We've done some training that might help you on that. But yeah, we do have in farming and self-promotion as an example. Let me just jump to that one. This is a great one. And this is why I put it there. This power agent, sorry, gangs, I'm finding. This power agent did a tour of Gramercy Park, Jeff Goldman. It's a great video as an example. So that's what we did there. Here's another one of a home tour. So we did that one. So yeah, there's a couple.
I'd also like to say, Ellen, that's actually been a hot topic of conversation within the Facebook group. And there's several power agents who are doing a really good job at that. And what's really neat is that they're kind of tutoring each other, right? So Delore is a great example. Darryl, he's doing a great job with that.
Yep.
And he's just sharing everything he knows, and other power agents are jumping in. It's like, here's what I did. Here's the success I got. The one who just did the video testimonial, he just got a new referral from that. So great stuff.
Yep. Let me jump to Elaine's question real quick because it's still in the same thing about the CRM. So she wants to know, Elaine, can I start at 49 and go down to 29? Elaine, what I'd recommend that you do is actually start with just the 29 for free the first 30 days and get comfortable with your CRM. And then when you're ready to add social streaming, then you can upgrade to that 49 if you want. So I would do it that way.
Perfect. Ray asks, is there a way to choose multiple items from the website to print all at once? Well, they're going to download them all separately, and then you're going to want to customize those pieces, right? So, and then print.
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways to do that. You can remember what I said about the favorite feature. If you can, so here's one of the things you can do. Let's say I'm in the smile stops right now. So let's say I like the January smile stop, and I click on it to make it a favorite, and then I click on this one, July, and let's say I click on this video tour that I like it. Now, this is one way to do it. When you go back to the classroom, sorry, I'm taking so long to do this, sorry. When you go back to classroom, there is this favorite tab. So when I click on favorites, those things that I just clicked on, there's Jeff's video, there's the smile stops that I clicked on. So in other words, we created a page that is your exclusive page based on your login, and you can save stuff that you like and print it later. That's one way to do it. The other way, which is what Julie was saying, is when you click on something, it downloads it. So if I click on this and now it's pretty much downloaded, I can save it to my folders on my computer and then print it out later. So you can do a lot of saving things locally outside of the Power Program website.
All right. We do suggest that you have a dedicated Power Agent folder on your computer, because that just makes it easy to find everything, right? Yep. Ellen, how can I connect with agents on the Facebook group?
So if I go to the classroom, is where a lot of the magic is, and also there's a dashboard which I didn't explain. But if I go there where it says Facebook, everything's alphabetical. By the way, there's a directory. I just want to point this out. There's a directory of Power Agents, and Power Agents are making money just from referrals. And what you can do is if you type in, let's say I'm looking for a Power Agent, I need a Power Agent in Houston. I don't know if we have any we have in Houston, but if I click on Houston, then it's going to search for all the Power Agents that are in the Houston market. So now I can refer business to them and contact them. But let's go to the Facebook page. So when I click on Facebook, it'll bring me to the Power Agent closed group. Now, this is the closed group just for Power Agents. Nobody else can get in. You have to be approved on that. That's something else. We have super Power Agents every month based on their participation. They get a free coaching call with me, along with some other marketing stuff that we do for them. There's the Power Agent that I did a screenshot on. Anyway, so there's a lot of brainstorming and support in this group. It's just pretty incredible. Like this one here. This is a great one. Look at this. I just got a shout out to Catherine. She said, hi, hi all. I broke down and faced my fear of calling physicians. I have my first appointment. Don't have anyone but you all to share this with. So thank you for listening. Isn't that cute? So anyway, look at the comments she got, the love she got from the Power Agent team. So it's just a great group. I will tell you something that I've noticed about our group versus some other real estate open groups is I was looking at one this morning, Julie, and it was like somebody asked a question for help, and it was a great question. So I read through the feed. 80% of the feed was people talking about how her question was stupid as opposed to answering the question. And that was very annoying. We don't have that with Power Agents. The Power Agents, there's a lot of love in our group. So anyway, let's continue with questions.
So much support. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Rita asked, what is social streaming?
Social streaming, that's just what they call it, but it's usually live. You would call it a live thing. That's not how they're using the social stream. So the CRM social streaming is what they're saying is that they're taking articles and streaming or posting it for you. They call it a stream, but they're posting it for you on your website. So one of the questions was, does it connect to Facebook? And it does. Streaming also refers to maybe like this webinar. Like if I was doing this webinar on Facebook as well, which we're not, but if I was, I'd be streaming it. It's another term for using it's live on social media. Next question.
Just curious if other Power Agents put Power Agent in their signature blocks of their emails along with their other information.
Okay, so first of all, as a power agents is a registered trademark, meaning that nobody can use that term. And I'm usually I have a lot. They constantly are going after people that are using it, and they're not supposed to be. We own that, but this is why we protect it for you to use. So as a power agent, you can use power agent. You are allowed to use that trademark. Now, I tell power agents that you should use that and tell homeowners, you know how in accounting and financing they have CPAs and regular accountants? Well, power agents are like CPAs of real estate. So that's how I would present it to a homeowner too. So that elevates you. Like if you have a choice between hiring an accountant or a CPA accountant, and it didn't cost you more money, which would you hire? Well, of course, the CPA. The same is true in real estate. If you had a choice between a power agent and a non-power agent, it didn't cost you any different. Which would you hire? Well, I'm a power agent, Mr. and Mrs. Hanahana. So there's the logos that you can download it. We actually gave the definition of the logo, why we have the logo. So we give you some information to help you use power agent to brand yourself. And if you see a non-power agent using it, let us know and we'll shut them down.
But yes, a lot of power agents do put that in their signature line, and they put it on in their marketing, and it is another way to elevate you. It's just like having a designation, right?
It's better. It's better than any designation out there, I think. But I'm biased.
Well, and it's ongoing. What's neat about it is that we are a community. We do support each other, and you share the power agent directory, and agents are using that not just to share referrals, but that's a way for them to find integrity partners and there's a lot of role-playing partnerships that are going on. People are going in and finding other agents in their market that they can work with and team up with. And so it's really cool to watch. Martha asked, can past power agents get in the Facebook group?
Can a past power agent?
You have to be a current power agent.
You have to be a current power agent. Only current paying members can be in. So if somebody drops out, which we have a huge retention rate, like beyond ridiculous of the industry average of memberships, because we've had people look at it. But that's because we offer so much value. But anyway, what was the point I was making is that, if somebody does drop out of the power agent program, we remove them from the Facebook group. So, and everything gets shut down for them. But
well, and on that note too, we had a question about locking in to the 49. So or the 47 a month. So once it's $5 for the first month, and that goes to Feeding America, then it's $47 a month after that. And as long as you stay in the program, you'll lock in at 47. So your price isn't going to go up. If you jump out of the program and the price goes up, then you'll end up paying the higher fee.
Just like any other.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Any other questions? I see that it's coming to an end. Oh, I see there's anything else that I want to point out that we might have missed. I will tell you, just to tell you this, the coaching calls that we do every Monday, we actually record them. So the screen. And so if you want to go back and listen to one of the sessions, because sometimes people ask me a question and I'll role play, let's say, making a prospecting call. Here's how you'd handle that objection. So people like to capture that. So we record that and post that for you. So you can download these. I see a question.
Yes. And on that note, we also do power agent only seminars, webinars on those tech tools and that kind of thing. And we actually just secured the realty writers. So this woman who's a copywriter for like some of the best real estate agents in the world, she's going to come in and do a webinar on how to write your property descriptions and how to write your marketing copy, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, let me see if I can show. That's in Tech Tools Trading. So what we do is, because we bring in specialists on certain things. Like I'm going to be doing a webinar training session with Tristan, who is actually he's the founder of Lab Code Agents, but he's actually a power agent, Tristan. So I'm going to interview him at the end of this month on texting and social media leads and that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, we interview specialists on things like how to use Canva, how to use PowerPoint. And now Julie secured this writer person on how to write good ad copy. So we're going to do that for you. There's something else I'll make an announcement to, and then we'll go to the next one there, Julie, is we are going to, like, you guys are hearing this before anybody else does. What we're doing is we are converting for people that need this as an option. We're taking all of this information and we're going to have a Spanish version of everything. So we hope to have that launched in the next 60 days. Maybe in the next 30 days, like the first section will be farming. All these letters will also have a Spanish thing for people that's important too. So that's one of the things we're doing. We're working on an app, a goal setting app also. By the way, all of these add-ons that we do, we don't charge power agents upgrade prices. So when you're a power agent at 47, all this other stuff we keep adding and keep adding and keep adding, you don't pay more for that. Now, at some point, we've added so much, we will raise the price again. And those people pay that. So you want to lock it in is my point.
Excellent. Elaine says, just wanted to thank you for all your support. I just signed up this past week for the $5. I have tried different coaching systems for their trial, and I always know from the start that it's not a good fit. Here at Power Agent, in just a short time, I feel the support and connection, and I'm definitely going to continue my membership with the Power Agent.
Oh, Elaine.
Oh, it made us smile, Elaine.
Elaine, I want you to know something. See, now, this is behind this stuff because the webinar is officially over. But see, we're a mushy company here. So it says, keep crying, cross that smile. So we had Camille, one of our staff members, made this for me because I'm Italian. So sometimes I have a tendency to get emotional and, a little teary-eyed. And I know what you just said, Elaine. My team is listening to this webinar. I know some of them just got a little teary-eyed. So thank you, Elaine, because we do care. We really do care, and we love to know that you appreciate it. So okay, did I hear Spanish? Yes, Maribela. Maribela. Yes, you did. You heard Spanish, although you didn't. As you can tell, I can't speak Spanish, but we are converting. We're translating everything for you guys, so you'll have a Spanish version of the entire stuff on the site. So,
yeah.
Next question.
So we're excited about it. Shonda says, me too. Let the steps begin. Thank you. You're welcome, Maribel. That's something that's been a goal of ours for a long time. We've got a new team member, and that's really her priority and her focus is to make sure that we're providing that.
Now, what we're going to do, Maribel, is that because I'm not blowing smoke, right? There's over 500 forms and flyers and checklists on the site. So it's huge. This is a huge project. So what we're going to do, instead of waiting for everything to be translated and then launch, we're going to take one tab, which is the farming and self-promotion tab. That has about 100 letters and things in it. Once that's done, which I'm hoping in the next 30 to 60 days, then we'll launch it. So we'll launch it and then keep adding in the Spanish stuff throughout the rest of the year.
That's right. So stick with it. We have so many new things that we're going to be rolling out this year, and we're super excited about it. So stay tuned and watch for those newsletters that Darryl spoke of. We send those newsletters out several times a week, and so you'll always be abreast of what's happening new. And Maribel loves us more now, so we love you too.
Yeah, listen, if there was a good side for the power program if there was one about the sheltering in the pandemic, is all we do is work now and adding new stuff. So it's like I wake up and say, all right, what are we working on today? So
we're working on today. Yeah. But we've gotten a lot done. We've accomplished a lot, and we've really helped students with that learning curve over the last year, and really dive in and find those ways and tools and strategies and systems to definitely design careers worth smiling about. So that makes us joyful.
All right. Does anybody else have any last questions before we sign off? Now, before we do, if anybody has a question, here's what I'm going to tell you. As soon as I sign off, that little floating button on the screen there that brings you to the page to sign up goes away. So, do click on it now. And I'm just pointing out, I'm putting this beautiful little girl's face on the screen because I want you to know this is what I'm committed to. I want to hit that 100,000 meals, and every power agent that signs up is going to bring us closer to 100,000 meals. So please, everybody on this call, if you haven't signed up, listen, I don't care if you sign up and then we whack the card $5 and you get all the free bonuses and then you cancel like the next day. I'm fine with that. I hope you don't. I hope you won't become part of the family, but please help us Help us hit this goal of 100,000 meals. Okay.
And power agents, current power agents, you can use that same link and share that with your colleagues and friends in the real estate industry, and make sure that if they, when they sign up, to put your name and email address in the form, and that will enter you into the drawing to become a superpower agent, which would give you a free one-on-one coaching call. Plus, you're helping do a good thing. You're helping us help other agents in their career, and you're helping feed America. So
exactly. All right. Listen, gang, thanks for, I hope this is valuable for you. Remember what I said, less is more. Zero in on just a few things. Do it consistently. Generate those conversations. One buyer conversation, one seller every day. Do that, and you will have a breakthrough year this year, and we are here to support you. You will not run alone when you are a power agent. We will be there for you. All right, God bless you guys. Stay safe, stay focused, and don't forget to keep smiling.